Hey, it's Niner from Niners Canal Pub once again. There were no videos over the weekend as we were quite busy, but today I wanted to show you some things about our beer draft system. As many of you know, Niners is known for their beer because we have 22 taps, which may or may not be the most in the county. I know Wild Things sometimes has 18 to 20, but as you can see, we have 16 on the wall and we have 6 on the side. Now the 6 on the side it's a standalone system, which means the kegs and the refrigerant are underneath. It's only being pumped up a few feet to the drafts. But the 16 on the wall, it becomes a little more complicated because we need to keep our kegs stored in a walk-in cooler in another part of the building. So let me show you that. Over here in our storage room, our beer storage room, is where our walk-in cooler is located. If we go in here, you notice that there are 20 plus kegs of beer stored. Each keg of beer has a gas line and a beer line running through it. The reason for the gas is to pump the beer and add pressure so that the beer gets pumped through the line. It's, you know, in the bar here we have 45 feet of line from the keg to where the tap system is. But again, I'm giving you a very undetailed version of this here. This is our CO2 tanks. They're filled from outside when the Wilson welding men come and fill our tanks. That is our CO2, as I said. This one is our nitrogen tank. Some beers require only CO2, some beers require nitrogen, some beers require a mixture of both. For example, Guinness requires a lot of nitrogen, less CO2. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know the scientific parts of this whole thing. I think I've said scientific 8 times now. This is our glycol system. I unplugged it because it's very loud. Here, let me plug it in for you. Yeah, this runs 24/7. It never stops. It should never be shut off. But I'm shutting it off now. What this acts as, imagine your car, imagine your radiator, your antifreeze. Basically the same thing. The beer lines need to be always cold, always. So this thing constantly pumps coolant between the beer lines all the way to the draft system. Now our lines come out of this cooler. They go through the drop ceiling all the way over to the drafts. In this room, the liquor storage room behind the drafts, is where the lines come in from the ceiling. Each one of those lines, you see 2 there. Inside those tubes, there are 8 beer lines in each one, and then there are 2 glycol coolant lines running through the middle of them. That's what keeps the beer cold. If that glycol was not in there, those lines would be warm, and all you would get would be foam coming out of the draft system, which you don't want. But sometimes you still get, depending on the pressure of your gas in your beer, because you don't want flat beer. You can't turn your gas all the way down, so you have to have some foam. So that's basically how it works. A lot of people claim your most profit comes from your draft beer, but honestly, when you think about it, by the time you've kept your kegs cold, by the time you've run the gas through it, by the time you've had your glycol system running, and the waste from the foam sometimes from your beer, I don't always believe it's the most profitable. So, but there you have it. That's our 22 draft beer system.